What's the name of this song? Let's see here. Stone. By Andromectic. Morning, guys. Oh, this is nice. It's a nice song, actually. Oh shit. Yeah, nice song. That one. So, retail sales came in pretty low. Month over month retail sales. So let's look at the retail sales. This is not updated. Is that right? Why is that not updated? Maybe it's delayed by a day. So retail sales came in pretty low, right? Core PPI as well. Okay, so here let's learn the fundamentals, all right? So, retail sales month over month, right? It means every month we have a new update, okay? Month over month, okay? So, the change in retail sales, okay? So, how much are we growing as consumers, and how much are we spending less as consumers, okay? So the change in total value of sales at a retail level, all right? So this is things like buying things at Walmart, Amazon, you know, going to, I don't know, your local prostitute, and, you know, anything that's basically taxable, right? Prostitutes are definitely a taxable event, right? Definitely a business. Your local pimp claims the money on his taxes, all right? So release date delayed 40 days due to government shutdown. So is this for... Oh, this is for September. Okay, now I'm getting confused. Now I'm getting confused because this is not delayed then. This is September's data. The forecast was 0.2. But this can't be right. Am I tripping? What's going on here? Oh. PPI. 0.2. Retail sales month over month. 0.6. That's this. For September. Forecast is 0.2. What the heck is this? Do you guys understand? Oh, Trader Nick had an error with the data capture system. Oh, it'll be updated soon. Okay. Yeah, I'm so confused because I mean, I understand why there's an error because they're not showing October or November here. Right? Well, I guess they're not showing the November data, right? They're only showing the September data. So that in theory should be bearish. Thanks, Nick. What was the impact on core PPI on the US today? Core PPI, right? So it's slightly bearish, right? So if you want to look at core PPI, now this stuff's confusing me because I don't really understand why it's being delayed like this. I understand that the government was shut down, but I don't understand like why are we getting September's data? Like why not just give us the updated data? But I haven't looked into it, so retail sales month over month is what you're looking at for actually Edge Finder. We have retail sales year over year comparison. Retail sales. Trader Nick's answering your question for you. Weak retail sales today, bearish for risk assets, soft consumer spending, soft inflation read, PPI is good for risk assets. Interest rates cut slightly more likely. Right. Right. Okay, so let's break down what Nick just said. Right. So he said two things that came out today, basically. Okay. He said weak retail sales today equals bearish for risk assets. Right. So weak retail sales. Right. That's this. So it came in less than expected. Right. So it means retail sales is how much people are spending, basically. Right. So if people are spending less than expected, right? Because it's all in relation to expected. It's, you know, your happiness or the price, you know. Yeah. Have you ever heard the happiness formula? Happiness is expectations minus reality, right? And you can literally apply that to the charts as well, right? Is price is expectations minus the actual report data. So we expected 0.4. It came in short. People are not spending as much. Right? So ultimately that should be bearish. Okay. I mean, nothing crazy, but ultimately should be bearish. Right. And then he said soft inflation read. So there's two parts here. He said soft inflation read is good for risk assets. Right. Okay. So why is that good for risk assets now? Because it's red, right? Red must mean bad. Well, if you read this, it says the change in price of finished goods sold by producers. Okay, so this is the price of goods and this is how much people are spending. So if the price of things goes down, right, then people are going to be able to spend more, right? Now the expected was price was going to increase by 0.2%. But it didn't increase by that much. So our expectations were that price was actually going to jump up more, and then it didn't, right? So price is not increasing as fast as we expected, which is good for spending, right? So maybe next month people are going to spend more than we thought, right? But this month, people are spending less than we thought, all right? So what does that mean? Probably nothing. Probably doesn't make a difference, right? If we jump back to the Edge Finder, right? And I'm Black Friday sale or whatever. Trader Nick here. I love to promote this thing because it's pretty sick, actually. I literally don't need to know anything, and I can just kind of follow this and learn. Honestly, like I'm learning fundamentals. I'm not that good at it. I'm more of a technical guy, but I realize the importance of this. So most likely when this updates, you're gonna have retail sales as bearish, right? So that's gonna drop this down a little bit, right? And then you've got PPI on year over year. So you don't have month over month, but if there was a month over month, you would show that PPI month over month as a bullish. So let's look at inflation data. See if they have it. PPI year over year. No, they don't have month over month. Got to get month over month, Nick. Right. So ultimately, basically what happened was you have this one switching to bearish, and then you have a one that doesn't even exist here switching to bullish, right? So yeah, I guess Trader Nick likes to jump in here. Let's look at the actual charts. Ooh, buying it up. We had a little bit of a dip this morning. If you were watching the Maven stream today, we were talking about probabilities of, you know, the opens continuing in the direction, and we found really likely that, you know, if the first 30 minutes or if the first hour is bullish, then it's going to continue that way, right? Like basically, you know, this first candle, I'm looking at real-time trading hours right now, so that's why it might look a little weird to you guys. You know, if this opens bullishly, most likely it continues for the whole day, right? And you know, it doesn't do it every day, but most days usually over the past year. Now, mind you, you get this sort of jump down here, and let's look to see if we can find a reason as to why they bought it off that level, right? So we can better prepare ourselves for tomorrow, right? If we're looking at the weekly close, you can see a very obvious buy off of the level that we wanted here. Failure to lose those lows, right? And most likely we were saying, hey, it's going to come back to this level right here. And they hit it yesterday, right? So if you've already hit it, let's go to the electronic Globex hours, right? You've already hit that level, then you're probably going to get a sell-off, right? So there is going to be a rejection. So we kind of knew that there was going to be a sell-off today because we already hit the level we wanted, which was right here, right? On the close yesterday. So where are we buying it up off of, right? Well, you can see yesterday closed super bullish, right? So this momentum is going to continue, right? So you can try to draw some levels out. Honestly, didn't matter too much because, in my opinion, like the levels of significance really didn't even get hit, right? So they're actually buying way before. Like this would have been the zone I would have wanted to be buying in on, right? If I was, you know, somewhere in here, right? Maybe a bit lower, right? Somewhere below there. But they didn't even come down, right? But that is a note to take note of, right? The reason being is this pass-through level right there, right? But they didn't even come here. So super, super bullish for the NQ. We can look at Bitcoin. Probably a similar sort of thing. Same thing kind of as yesterday. We're looking at yesterday. Failure to enter these lows. Most likely we're coming back up here. We're going to be looking at that as a major level. When this monthly candle closes, we have 5 days left in the month. So we want to make sure that this candle closes at least something like this or higher. Otherwise, this is really bad for Bitcoin. If we close in this lower area, we're coming back down to 50K, right? It'll be really bad for Bitcoin. How's your gambling going? I'm not currently trading. October was a bad month for me, so I'm like, I'm just gonna stop, and I'm just gonna buy and hold, right? How do you control tilt? You lost 2 accounts today because you got mad. Well, I mean, I tell you guys this all the time, and you hate the answer, right? I don't care. I don't care about money. I don't want money. I have money. I mean, I don't even have like an insane amount of money. Like, I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm fucking rich or nothing like that. Like, I own Maven. Maven is very successful. I don't get to touch that money, okay? I get paid a flat salary, and eventually I'm going to be able to retire with the Maven money, okay? Whenever like Maven does whatever it needs to do, right? But like, I have enough money to buy my food, my rent, and my gas, and then maybe go on a date every once in a while. Like, that's literally all I care about. So the how do I not go on tilt is because I don't care. I don't care for anything more, right? So I get to play, like, I have the opportunity, I have the luxurious or the luxury of being able to just play the game for the sake of the game and having fun. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'll just stop for the next month. I just won't trade for a month because who cares? I don't feel like trading, right? And you go on tilt only because you care. But if you didn't care, you would have just stopped. That's the trick. The only way that you can control your trading is by not giving a fuck about trading. And it's the duality of the trader. You're getting pulled, you know. The only way that you can make money is becoming a completely aloof about making money. Right? So how do you do that when you honestly care about making money? Like, let's say, okay, so there's two ways to go about this, right? The one is you try so to become profitable and all this jazz, right? The one way is to try to disconnect yourself from wanting money, right? And that's basically what I'm saying is okay, so you should ask yourself, what does this money actually provide for you? Well, nothing really if it's sitting in an account, right? If it's sitting in an account, it doesn't change your life at all. So you can kind of disconnect in that sort of way, right? And then just realize that the profits today don't matter. The profits of next year matter, but not today, right? Or the other option is, hey, realize that, hey, I actually do really care about this money, and then find ways to work around that, right? So maybe you honestly do care. Like, maybe you're not like me, right? And I imagine most of you are not like me. And you actually, like, you'll ask yourself honestly, okay, I actually do care. I actually really do want that Lambo, right? Then it's a bit of a different challenge, right? Because you have to do that. You have to disconnect yourself somehow. It's much easier when you honestly don't really care. So you do exactly what I just basically said, is you have to use logic to understand the emotion. So you're getting freaked out because you're emotionally attached to the money, right? So if you use logic, like, I imagine most of you are men, right? And men can generally use logic to kind of fucking damper their emotions, and that's kind of what you need to do, right? Women are a bit different, right? Because they live in more of an emotional realm than a logical realm, right? But a lot of times men can just logically, like, break things down. At least I can. That's my experience, is I'm able to logically break things down, and it allows me to better understand my emotions. But if you logically break down that, hey, whatever I make today is a completely meaningless thing, right? then it can disconnect yourself from the emotion. That's your goal as a trader, is a balance between disconnecting yourself from emotion, but without trading frivolously, right? You have to still be mindful about your actions without caring about your actions. I mean, that's the challenge, right? And I recommend meditation. Anyways, we're getting a rally up here. Let's look at some of the lower time frames on the NASDAQ. This level probably will not hold. I want to see, where did the... It's been a while since I actually did any day trading. So we did the 2 hour. 1 hour. Okay, 30 minute. Yeah, they're just ripping up. It makes no sense. Makes no sense to buy this here. I'm overall a bull here. I would love to be a buyer, but the buy opportunity was earlier today. All right. What you want to do here? I mean, honestly, you probably would have just missed the trade today completely. Let's look for the next levels up. Let's see if somebody did enter a buy at some point. Where would we be looking for? Swing highs here. That one's already tested. This one was untested. This one's already tested. I mean, honestly, this looks like it's going for... If I'm looking at just the daily right now, so I'm going to break this down, right? So this is bullish, okay? This is bullish, right? So let's accept that that's bullish, right? Because we're I mean, like assuming that we close above this or whatever, right? We've just tested this level and we've shown a really strong buyback, right? So assuming that this is bullish, where is this going to stop on a daily level? Okay, you looking at just the daily candles, we could say, hey, well, this one's already tested, we're passing it, right? This has been tested, right? This top has been tested, right? You can see it tested right here, right? And then this swing top is the all-time high. So this is the only level that's not tested. I mean, technically, it's actually even tested. So everything's been tested. So this is going for new highs now. Okay. This is your buy opportunity. I would be buying here for sure. I already am in longs. And then same sort of thing from the weekly level. Failed to lose these lows, right? If you want the best confirmation possible, watch to see the next 3 days to see if we close above that level, because potentially you could come down still, but yeah, this is the high, untested. We're going to be shooting for those highs. Let's look at the 4 hour, same sort of thing. Next level up is right here, right? So that's untested. So this is where it's going right now. So this is probably where it's going to close today. Maturity, when you stop trying to get rich and just enjoy the process, challenging. Yeah, I mean, for myself, I don't give a fuck about being richer. There are so, like, I hate to always be this guy because the entire industry, all they care about is money. But I really don't give a fuck about money. So it's interesting because it's like I'm kind of a weird guy in the industry. But there are so many other things in life. What's up, Baron? Good to see you, bud. That are important to me, right? And money is literally, after a certain point, it is literally just an ego thing so you can cope with not having these other things in your life, right? And for me at one point I didn't have these other things. Like I didn't have friends, I didn't have proper connection, right? I didn't have a connection with my higher power. I didn't have any peace, right? So all I cared about was money because it was the only thing that gave me any like easy gratification, right? But like there's other things that I want to work on in my life, right? Than making more money. And like one for example is like being a more like I would love to be able to listen and understand my partner better. You know what I mean? Rather than like I'm not super good at being attentive, right? And so here's the thing is you ask yourself, this is what I did, right? Is why do I want money, right? I want money literally only for the fact that it will make me a more attractive person. I don't give a fuck about riding jet skis, flying around, having a big house, having the fast car was kind of fun. But you can just rent them, right? So, it is literally only for improving the odds of finding a proper mate, right? But there are so many other things that make you attractive to women, right? One of them is being a safe, validating person, right? Anyways, I'm fucking ranting again about shit that people don't care about. Retail sales calculation should be fixed now. We had a date. Okay, let's see. Is it going to say bearish? Is it going to say bearish now? Da-dang! We got it right! We understand fundamentals! Woo! Okay, what else came out today? Did anything else come out today? Consumer confidence as well. So this is consumer confidence. I wonder if this is in here. Economic consumer confidence. There you go. Consumer confidence. It's not calculated into the number that they use, but level of composite index based on surveyed households. Yeah. So spending is down basically, right? Consumer confidence is. I can see why it's not calculated into the number for, you know, the bias here for the edge finder, because it basically is just a double of the spending, right? If people are confident, they're going to spend more, right? So this is just like kind of like I imagine the only place that this is actually useful is when there's a massive discrepancy between the confidence and the spending, because that could tell you something, right? Like, for an example, let's say confidence was high, right? And spending was low, right? That means consumers believe the economy is good, but it's not actually, which could mean that, hey, things are about to burst. Maybe. I don't know. Right? But both the confidence and the sales went down, so they should move together usually. Nice. Keep it ripping, boy. Keep it ripping. I want Master is just freaking getting murked, but they are getting a buy off this level, of course. Jesus. Okay, so yesterday, what did we say? Yesterday we told you gold was going to go up. We told you Bitcoin was going to go up, and we told you NASDAQ was going to go up, okay? Right? What is it doing? It's going up. So again, where's gold going to go? This is already tested. So it's coming here. Right? It's going for new highs. QQQ. We got some QQQ. What should we look at? Anything else? Lunar. Oh, nice. That's a really nice, if I had more margin in my account, I'd be buying Lunar here. Lunar looks like a really good buy here. It's a rocket company in New Zealand. Yeah, anyways. Hunter, I have a question. What are the steps to make a prop firm like Maven? What are the steps? Bro, that's like 1,000 parts. Very, very loosely. One, you build the tech and infrastructure, right? So whether that means you outsource to a third party or build it yourself, I don't give a fuck. You need a website. You need a platform for people to trade off of. You need all of these different trade, like you need a trading terminal, you need a dashboard, you need a way for people to buy, you need all the tech, okay? Build the tech, okay? How much is that going to cost you? Well, if you buy it from somebody else, you probably need about 20 grand to start, okay? If you build it yourself, 100 to 200 grand, okay? The difference is if you build it yourself, you have no reoccurring fees, basically, right? And that's like I'm not even talking about building a trading terminal. You can't really build a trading terminal yourself. That would be $1 million probably. But I'm talking about like the dashboard and behind the scenes tech. Okay. You built all your tech. You built your website. You know, you're about 20-25 grand in the hole now. Okay. Then what you can do is you can start accepting clients. How do you start accepting clients? Well, you probably want to do marketing, either organic marketing or so that's making videos and content, or you do paid ads, right? And paid ads can come in any form, but you're doing paid marketing through, you know, sponsorships, partner, you know, affiliates, you know, whatever it is, right? You're paying for ad space, basically, right? You start doing that across the board, and there's like fucking 20 different avenues that you can go down, and you should do them all. You do them all, okay? And then from there, you start getting traders on your platform, right? And then what you need to do is you need to figure out what offer is profitable for you, right? And what is your variance, right? Because you are dealing with essentially, you know, I don't want to say gambling, but you're dealing with basically like a casino sort of environment where there's massive payouts, right? So you have to manage your variance from month to month, so things are consistent, so that you don't go bust. Just the same way that you manage your variance as a trader, okay? So you don't risk all of your funds on one trade because it's very easy to go bust, right? So you have to manage your variance, and you need to manage your profitability to make sure that every single month you're profitable, right? And then you realize that your payouts are 3 months delayed. So now you need extra capital just as a backup in case there's variance, right? So from there, then what you do is you start getting reviews, right? People start reviewing you, right? And people start scamming you, and people start lying to you, and people start threatening you and blackmailing you. So you need systems in place to manage these things as well, right? You need protocols, right? And then legal comes after you. And you're like, oh, is what you're doing legal? Well, you got to make sure everything's legal, right? You need terms and conditions. You need to be, set up in the right jurisdictions. You need to get things set up with bank accounts so that bank providers and payment processors don't shut you down, right? All of these things get attacked at you at once. And guess what? If you don't manage things fast enough and effectively enough, your entire company goes under. Right. And this is why like 90% of prop firms never make it off the ground. Because guess what? You just spent probably 50 grand now and you have no idea what the fuck you're doing because there's no blueprint to do this. It's not like, hey, I'm going to start a restaurant. These are the things you need. No, you figure it out on your own. You don't even know if you're profitable until like 6 months down the line because everything is so delayed. So you need so much backup. So I would recommend that if you want to start a prop firm in the current age, you need at least 100 grand because it's going to cost you 50 grand to get off the ground. And then you need another backup. You need backup funds. So 50 million is needed to start a prop firm? No. Or 10 million. Sorry. I read that wrong. You don't need 10 million. No, I'd say 100,000 is a safe amount to start a prop firm. And if you started a prop firm with 100,000, you would probably be a mid-tier prop firm at best at this point, right? For a company to come in and be a top 10, top 20 prop firm, you'd probably need well over $1 million for marketing and ad campaigns and whatnot, because you need to look at what was the one there was one I can't even remember what they were called because they're so fucking small now. They came in and they acquired all of the failing prop firms and they did that as their marketing campaign and they spent like millions of dollars. And they're fucking garbage, and nobody they didn't make a name for themselves at all. They spent like millions of dollars acquiring firms that were going under just to be like the fucking guy that saved and then nobody even knows who they are. I don't even remember their name. Right? Or alternatively, if you cared nothing about other people or morals or going to jail, what you can do is just rug pull. Just do everything illegally, start it up, do 6 months, make an unsustainable model, and then Ponzi scheme everyone once everyone's invested and just rug pull. And a lot of people do that, but a lot of people are terrible. So, Let's see what's going on with this. It's just going to keep moving up, I think. Yeah, this is just going to continue up all day, I think. If you get a pullback, you could take it, but I wouldn't be trading today. I think it's too late in the day now for, too high risk here. What are you asking? Wait, key steps to make it consistent? Oh yeah, we should do some giveaways. Forgot about giveaways. Anyways, yeah, let's do a giveaway, Botrix. Let's go plus prop, okay? To enter the giveaway. For a 5K one step. This is the best way to get freaking accounts, dude. Like, there's literally only like 30 people here right now. I'm spinning it. Ed, you. Open up a ticket in Maven's Discord. You got a 5K one step. Congrats, bro. Holy shit, odd JPY. So gold's pretty bullish now too, eh? Inflation data. Nice. Right, yeah, congrats. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to wrap it up there. I got some meetings in the next 10 minutes, so. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll start doing these streams some more. I know we are getting late in the year, but it's getting a little bit slower. Come January, we'll be doing some, you know, crazier streams again, I guess. But we got only another month of the year, so.